Finding ways to keep your kids engaged and continue working on skills that either need to be reviewed or will help to enhance them as readers and writers can be challenging. But what if I told you that book clubs are a perfect means for doing this at any point in the school year? But here's the thing. They can be somewhat of a challenge as well, especially when you have so much going on your plate. In this video, I'm going to be sharing an incredible platform that will help you in creating exciting and engaging lessons with little time and effort. Hello everyone, my name is Bridget Spackman. I teach 4th, 5th, and 6th grade kiddos across all content areas. I have a passion for ELA, authentic instruction, and rigorous teaching. So listen, there are plenty of areas in our teaching that need our attention. From grading to lesson planning and creating resources that fit our students. But each of these things takes time, lots of time. So what if I told you that there is a place that will help you reduce the amount of time creating engaging resources for your class, but also makes incredibly gorgeous printables? Adobe Creative Cloud Express is a platform that gives educators and students everything they need to create stunning graphics, flyers, photos, presentations, web pages, and videos. And the best part about it is that you can integrate Adobe Creative Cloud Express with Google Classroom, ClassLink, Canvas, Clever, and more. Okay, so now let me show you how this platform can make creating resources for you and your students so much easier. I'm going to be sharing 3 resources and activities for your book clubs that you can easily create using the templates that Adobe Creative Cloud Express has for you. So these simple and engaging resources will help to really elevate your book clubs, and it's going to create authentic purpose and support your students in engaging and new books. The first item that you are going to be able to create is probably one of my favorites, and this is a book tasting menu. At the beginning of any book club, it is so important to offer your students choice. Begin by having a book tasting of your selected choices for book clubs. You can start by choosing around 5 to 6 texts, and then from there, you're going to have an entire day dedicated for your students to taste the book. So you're going to start with creating a menu in order for students to gain a little bit more information and kind of help them with that decision-making process. To do this, open up Adobe Creative Cloud Express. You can click on the plus sign in the upper left-hand corner. A pop-up window will appear and you can look through the various types of templates. If you know exactly what template you want to use, you can click on the Search All Templates bar at the center of the page. This also gives you recommended templates for quick access, or you could just type the template that you're searching for there. In our case, let's choose menus. And remember, don't get so hung up on the colors and the design piece as you're starting to look through the different menu and template options. You're gonna have the ability to really customize your choices once you start to dive in. So once you have a design that you like, you can click on the template and begin customizing. This is where you're gonna find an abundance of options. You can change the color and add images, change the words and fonts. When you create a menu for your book clubs, have a space for each book title and a small blurb that shares about the text. This can be considered the description of the food in a normal menu. For the pricing, change it to the genre and the author of the book. You can print these, or you can create a QR code for your students to scan and be able to preview the text and look at the menu. You can add a little bit more flair to your book tasting by using a placemat, taking the book, laying out your menu on top to really get your students excited. The second item that you can create to really support book clubs is to create Meet the Author posters. This simple poster design is perfect to have all year round and will help your students be able to make connections to other books that they can read following their book club. So once again, in Adobe Creative Cloud Express, you can click on the plus sign or use the search tool at the top. For this resource, you can use the templates under flyers. Here you're going to see some various options that are broken down into categories. You can scroll through or click on the View All to get a broader view of the template types. For us, let's click on the school templates. When you have the template you think will really fit click on the image and then click on the Create from this template. Now it's time to customize. From here, we can go ahead and change the name to the author. We can add an image from the web. You can also remove the background by clicking on the image and then hitting Remove Background button and then clicking on the plus sign. You can insert a blurb about the author and then add some other book options that the students can select from. You can even go above and beyond by giving them a description, including the genre, and telling where the student can locate this book in order for them to be able to borrow it. Place these in a very special location around your room and make it a little bit more fancy by placing this into a frame and displaying it. Or you can create an author highlights binder for students to be able to flip through and use. You can add a little bit more engagement into this and have your students get involved in the process and start creating this themselves. Adobe Creative Cloud Express allows you to be able to share templates with your students. And so you can have students do some research on a specific author and then be able to create their own posters that you can then use to display inside of your classroom. So Adobe Creative Cloud Express allows you to be able to share your access to templates and gives your students the opportunity to become the creators of the project. You can have students create a web page with key elements at the end of their book club and then have them share that to their LMS or have students present it to the class. A web page gives students the ability to really just be creative and express their thinking by adding text, videos, photos, and so much more. Students can create multiple sections and either use this to answer questions or reflect on specific questions. So in this example, I want my students to give a summary of the text, and then I want them to provide some detailed characteristics of some of the characters in the story, and also have them do an overarching plot line of what happened in the text. Kids can add photos that they can search and find that really allow them to kind of make connections to what they thought the characters looked like in their head. And it's just a great way to be able to really see students' creativity come to life. So as you can see, Adobe Creative Cloud Express contains a variety of templates that help making and creating customizable resources for your classroom so much easier.